All right, what's going on, everyone? This is Aiden Wood Mix and Mastering here, and today I'm here to talk about a very specific topic, which is adding creative ways to enhance our groove. And there's a lot of very common ways we can do this. So, of course, we're going to make our drums, we're going to have the elements in our drums with the same groove bouncing off one another, things like the snares, our hi hats, our percussion elements. But something I like to do when adding the fundamental layer of my groove, which comes from those drums, is think about different creative ways to add that groove because that's going to be the core element that gets people moving, that gets people dancing. We want to make sure that this is a very intentional part of our process. And the way I like to do this is using effects. So once I've established my drum groove and I have something going, so if we listen here for this song, for example, I'll just solo the drums. So we have a couple different elements going on there. We have our hi-hats. We have a few loops going on as well. But what we can do now to enhance this is add some specific and unique effect sounds that will give us a groove that is not just entirely the loop, but also a bit of our own and a bit more creative. So what I like to do is I find some effects. There's a lot of different sample packs for this, obviously. I like to use things that are typically coming from hardware samples. So a lot of these are, I don't really know the names of these systems, to be honest, but I know these come from hardware systems. And these can add really cool, just unique groove to our drums. So let's find a couple things we can add here. So maybe that can work at the end of every two bars or every two bars. So let's listen to this effects here. Maybe we can make it a little more. One more time. So right, that's adding, we can hear how that already adds a little bit to the groove. And maybe we can do one more at the other end. Let's find something different here. We can do... Yeah, just find a different pack here. So we can find one shot specifically, just a couple things. So something like that's really cool. Have that every 4 bars. Like this. One more time, let's listen here. Again, we're just trying to think of so maybe that works well with our groove. And there's things we can add in between this, right? So now that we have like our bass response, again, these effects are sort of responding to the drums every 2 bars. We can add different elements in between there as well, right? Like we don't want to overkill it. We want to do this very subtly. We want to do this tastefully, but we want to add these things because it does add that uniqueness. So maybe we can find a couple more effects here. Not crashes, but yeah, like maybe that could be cool. Maybe you hear. We can add something like that in there too. Again, guys, we're trying to use the idea always of call and response when we're adding these elements, right? So Here we have our call, and then a response. And we'll have another call, another response. And this is working in accordance with our drums, right? Like we're not starting with this. We already have our fundamental groove, so we can carve this groove around that. We wouldn't want to put something like this first, especially if we're using drum loops, because those loops will have groove. And if there's a groove in those loops that we add after the fact that we've added these, it's very possible that the groove might not make sense with how the groove works with the drums. So you want to start with your drum group because that's the fundamental. And then when you're looking to add a little bit more, you can add little bleeps and bloops, just little noises to enhance that groove. And now if we listen to our song here with the kick and our synth elements, so we can turn these things down, but we can hear it adding to the groove, right? Maybe I don't like one, so maybe I didn't like this one that much. I can add a different noise. Maybe just something like that, nice and subtle, better. So yeah, I think that's really cool. So guys, when we're doing this, of course we want to listen to the thing that we're carving the groove around. So we were just soloing with the drums when we were adding this. But then we want to listen in context, because if it doesn't make sense in context, it's not going to make sense with the song. Sometimes we can add things that sound really cool on their own. We listen to everything together, it doesn't make any sense. So what I like to do, like I just showed, listen to your drums, add a couple effects in there, and then listen to it in context. And if something doesn't make sense, change it like I just did. And that's how you can add a little bit more to the groove of your song. So this has been a much quicker video here, but I thought this would be a cool way for you to enhance your groove and make it a little bit more of your own, adding some creativity to it. So it's not just your drum elements, you can actually get fun little effects in there as well. And yeah, thanks for watching this one, guys. If you have any questions about my sample selection here, about any of the specific plugins or anything that I'm using, always let me know. I'm always happy to help in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.